Hey, what's up, YouTube, and welcome to Play It Painted Live. This is week 7 of the Extra Life Raffle, and we're starting a few minutes late, but that's okay. Nobody's hopped on yet, so I am still getting stuff ready for a little show. I'm trying to decide what to paint right now, because tonight I got a lot of stuff to do, you guys. I've got Halloween to get ready for, and so forth, and I'm going to pull this guy down here. And it's kind of been... the last 10 minutes leading up to this show here were pretty hectic. Wow. And also, to make matters worse, I seem to be having an issue here with my camera mount. So I'm going to put my camera right here for now. So apologies for this, but we are having... tonight is the night of technical difficulties, I assume. So here we go. Let me tighten this up. I'm sure that's Jill clamoring to get on the show. I'll give her a minute here while I'm getting stuff ready. All right. So here we go. Gonna put this on here. Okay. All right. So here we go. We've got that there. Deciding who to paint here. I may paint either Kisa, who's kind of fun. Let's bring this camera in a little bit. Kisa's kind of fun. Or I could paint Malia. I think Malia is a little bit more boring than Kisa. My favorite of these is One Shot. Really like the character of One Shot here. Just really fun. So I'm actually going to save One Shot. I think I'm going to paint Kisa tonight. Kisa looks like she's going to be fun. So we'll get going there. Let me just get the rest of this stuff set up here. So it'll be a few minutes. You can see my nice water right there. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Pretty hectic setup for the show. I'll be honest with you guys. Normally for a show, I have maybe 3 to 5 minutes to get ready for a show, because right around 8:45 or so, I'm putting them to sleep. Then I'm taking the garbage out, and tonight was pretty funny. I was taking the garbage out and had some stuff spill on me, which was rather unpleasant. So I ended up actually having to take a really quick shower here, clean myself off, and just to get ready for the show. So anyway, that's what we're looking at right now. I'm assuming that's somebody clamoring to get on the show. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Whoa. All right. All right. So anyway, let's get to the painting here. Let me get my brushes out. And let's start with some eyeballs. So we're going to do black, do a little bit of white. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. And tonight we're going to work on a Kisa model, because why not? It'll be fun. So a little chibi eyes here while we're getting set up. I figured let's paint one model tonight instead of 2. If I can find my dropper. Where's the dropper? Where's the dropper? This is always interesting.
Hello.
Hello. What do I do with it? Maybe it's here. Oh, it's right there. Okay, cool. All right. So let's do this. And
Thank you.
this up. All right, Jill, looks like you're about to get started painting. What are you painting tonight, Jill?
I am painting that game that Mark Dieter won. Super Dungeon Explorer.
The E, cool. You're painting it for him?
He commissioned me to paint it for him as soon as he won it.
Oh, cool. Cool. All right. Okay. So you're painting looks like you're painting Starfire there.
I am. I'm just touching up the base coat. I used the airbrush to base coat, and there's a couple spots where it didn't go on as nicely as I had hoped.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to paint the eyeballs here. Actually, my camera's pretty far away from the action. So I'll move this over here.
Who are you painting tonight?
I am painting the Super Dungeon Explorer Kisa model.
Okay.
So the Relic Knight Kisa model. I was debating maybe I would paint something like paint a Eldorado model, but this is what I had available. I haven't primed any of my Eldorado stuff yet, so there we go. So just
I should prime my Eldorado stuff and paint it.
Mm-hmm.
But I have this stuff to get done now, so.
Okay, cool.
I'll probably be focusing on this for the next couple of weeks.
All right. What do we got here? Okay, great. Thanks, Canvas, for that. Let's go ahead and I'm going to work on the eyes here for the Kisa model. So this part gets a little tedious. So Jill, do you want to recap how your Extra Life marathon went and everything that's taken place since then? While we're doing this?
Nothing has taken place. Well, you mean like the Total Command stuff that's taken place since then?
How about, well, yeah, I mean, wherever you want to start, whatever
Okay.
you feel like.
Well, we'll start with the stream. Those of you who have been kind of paying attention know that I partnered up with Octave for the Extra Life, the Play It Painted Extra Life campaign as one of his teammates, and I ran a 24-hour live stream on October 25th, where I played about 20 hours of World of Warcraft. It went really well. I met my goal, which is awesome. I had a lot of fun. I also just posted the next episode of Geek Girl Weekly where I talked a bunch about it. So.
Okay. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet, and I know you.
It literally just went live, like not even 5 minutes ago.
Ah, okay. Cool.
Because I had edited it and then closed it without saving it, so I had to re-edit some bits of it.
Okay.
Which is fine.
All happen with regards to the live stream, or I mean, you met your goal. That's awesome.
Yeah. You and I played a really loud and offensive game of Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl. That's always fun.
And then my parents showed up, and my mom gave me crap later for swearing at you. And I'm like, but it's Blood Bowl. It's allowed. And she's like, no, it's not. Not if people can see you. And I'm like, nah, I don't care. Not a big deal.
That's par for the course for Blood Bowl. You're supposed to swear when you're playing Blood Bowl.
Just get irrationally angry.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what else is going on with you?
Not too much. Those of you who follow Total Command, the Eldorado Hobbycast, will know that we today put out our hiatus notice episode. So that's a thing that happened today.
Boo!
I agree, boo, but
okay. I'm kidding.
That's okay.
Okay.
We'll come back when there's more stuff for us to discuss.
I haven't listened to that myself, so I shouldn't boo. But I understand some of the reasoning why. But yeah, it's a shame when when a fun project like that has to be put on hiatus.
It is, but on the other hand, it gives me a little bit more time to focus on Geek Girl Weekly and get that going, which is awesome.
Cool. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah, I haven't really been doing much. I built all of these guys, and then I airbrushed them yesterday, and now I'm just touching up the base coats. Because I apparently did a terrible job of airbrushing yesterday.
How so?
Just so blotchy.
Oh.
I think I was just too tired when I was airbrushing. Grayson, what kind of airbrush do we have?
Our airbrush itself is a Pash, and then our pump is a
Iwata. Yeah,
Okay.
we have a Pash airbrush and an Iwata compressor.
Okay, cool.
And I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it really does help facilitate all this stuff that we do. Okay. Well, as for me, this past weekend we did the Relic Nights tournament and charity raffle locally here in Orange County. It was a lot of fun. We had about a dozen people show up. About 10 played in the tournament, and we just had some other people that just came by either to check on the raffle or just to hang out with me, play some Street Fighter with me while we were running the tournament. Overall, tournament went really well. I made a couple of adjustments to make sure that the games could finish on time, and that we were able to reduce the amount of, we'll just say, discussion that happened during a tournament, and kind of keep things focused on fun and scoring and all that stuff. It was a good tournament. Andrew Jones, who's been on this show a few times, he acing first, which was awesome. I know that was not his intention. In fact, I know he had mentioned to me, hey, I want to play. He mentioned he wanted to play mainly for fun, but he had really good focus. He played very well. He beat some really tough opponents, and he definitely deserved the win there in the tournament. And it was really exciting to be a part of that. So Andrew finished first. Second was a local guy named Gareth, who's also a really sharp guy. And then third was John Bartley. So really good result on the tournament. Once that was done, we went out for burgers and beer afterwards, which was my favorite part. And we did end up, for my personal goal, we did end up meeting my stretch goal of 1K over the weekend, which was awesome. And so I owe people some karaoke songs.
Yeah, you do.
Rumor is they're floating around there somewhere. They might actually be hiding in plain sight. That's all I'm saying. So,
I need to go dig through your YouTube now.
So that was very fun. So that's what we did on the weekend. And then yesterday I got in a game of Eldorado with Jose, which was awesome because I'd been dying to play some more Eldorado. It'd been a while since I was able to do so. We played that new mercenary company that I recently painted up against Westerners, and I played Westerners. I played what's his name, Georg von Holbein, Georg von Holbein, versus Andre de Montbar, the Templar officer for the mercenaries, and we played a game of Conquest. Very, very brutal game, which was perfect for us because we'd been playing Relic Knights for so long here, and Knights is more about thwarting and outmaneuvering. But Eldorado gets super brutal. I mean, when you get into combat, you just basically beat the shit out of the other guy.
Yep.
And you will probably both die in that case. Stuff dies pretty quick.
But you'll have fun doing it.
Yeah, and it's a very fun game. That's the reason why I like having both games with me at all times, is because there's one that's kind of they both offer very, very different experiences, and they're both fantastic skirmish systems. So, so that's why I like to carry both. It was great to be back playing some Eldorado again. We're getting kind of energized to do a little bit more of that. So hopefully you should see some of that. In fact, I recorded the entire game and I'm in the process of editing it. So hopefully I can string it all together, make a decent battle report out of that, and share that with you.
Wait. Octave is editing?
Yeah,
You don't like editing.
when I edit, though, I don't really edit. When I record something, like in this case, I left the camera on, and we just played the game. And I snapped a few photos and took a few highlight notes, and that's it. But my editing consists of basically taking the sound out of the game, speeding it up, and then just dropping captions in. So hopefully that will help you follow the game. And I'm hoping this new format actually helps you follow the game a little bit better. And for those of you who don't play Eldorado, hopefully you get a better taste of the overall flavor of gameplay that is Eldorado, for lack of a better explanation. And what I mean by that is, like, okay, so you can watch this channel, and you can watch my Intro to Eldorado series. And you can learn a lot about key concepts there. You can even watch a little bit of play in action, or you can tune in to Total Command. And you guys also do a great intro. You guys did a great intro to Eldorado as well, and there's a lot of informational stuff you can pick up there. But what you can't get currently from either of those sources, or from any other source I know, is you don't really get the experience that you're playing a game live, or you're playing a full game live anyway. So what I did last night was we do the terraforming for you. We do all of the setup steps, and we also, you can actually see the play happening live. So it does. I'm hoping this is a little bit more of an immersive experience when you're playing Eldorado. Because you really do, when you're playing Eldorado, you really do want to see what is different about the game, and experience what is different about the game, and why we feel that it stands out against most skirmish games that are out there today. In fact, my personal opinion, and I know Jill will chime in here as well, is that Eldorado is one of the best skirmish games, if not the best skirmish game out there. That's just
agree, absolutely
my total bias going on with Eldorado.
My reasoning for Eldorado being the best game is that, or the best skirmish game, is that out of all of the miniature games that I've played, and I've played everything from 40K to War Hordes to, I've tried Malifaux. I've tried a lot of stuff, and the only one that's really gotten me into it is Eldorado. It's the only one that's really kind of piqued my interest enough, and not just the lore, but the actual gameplay itself.
Okay. Is there anything? Were there specific moments from, like, say, the first time you started playing Eldorado that you might be able to point at and say, okay, that was one of those moments that helped me kind of bear down on this game and really embrace it?
The way that combat works, you're not dealing with, like, the rule of 7 or anything like that. You're just dealing with this guy's combat versus this guy's armor equals this many damage.
Okay.
Or equals this many hits, and then you look at the card to see how many damage.
So the power chart, and how about simultaneous melee combat?
I love the simultaneous combat.
Yeah, for me that was a big another big draw to the game, was simultaneous combat. I haven't seen simultaneous combat since Warhammer 40K 2nd edition.
Yeah.
And I loved it in 2nd edition. And people hated it in 2nd edition because they made bad decisions. But simultaneous combat is super, super fun. That's all I've got to say about that. It makes the game much more brutal. It makes the game go a little bit faster, and I feel it makes you more decisive. When you commit to combat, you're in Eldorado. If you've played a few games, and you commit a model to combat, you're basically saying, I'm willing to let this model die at some point, because it will. If it
Oh,
stays
yes.
stuck in combat, it will. It's not like a lot of these other games where you can drop in a super god, super monster, and he can just fight his way through an entire crowd and then make it out the other side. In Eldorado, because you're essentially doubling up on the amount of combat that occurs, and it's going to occur simultaneously. Whereas other games, let's take turn-based games like War Hordes, for example. If you fight a turn of melee in War Hordes, it's really just there's an attacker and a defender, and he does his thing, and then you move on to the next turn, and then the other guy attacks the other guy, and so one guy is punching the other guy in the face, and the guy getting punched in the face is basically recording the amount of damage boxes that he's taking. I'm not saying there's a problem with that, but it's essentially one full turn of War Hordes results in 2 combat sequences, right?
Yeah.
Eldorado, when you activate a model that initiates a combat, both models fight. So every time there's a combat sequence, 2 models fight. So on a typical turn, Model A will strike Model B. 2 models are fighting. Then Model B will go strike Model A. 2 models are fighting. So essentially, in a turn, you get 4 combat sequences, whereas in War Hordes, you really only get 2. So that makes the game much more brutal, and it also results in some really cool stuff like simultaneous kills, which is very frequent in Eldorado.
Yep.
And like you're saying, the power chart, which is really cool, and allows you to introduce numerous effects and so forth in the game. It just really makes for a much more brutal game.
And it's I found it really easy to pick up because of the power charts and because you weren't trying to do math in your head.
Yeah, I mean, most of the modifiers in Eldorado are all based on the amount of dice that you're going to be rolling. So, if you take in it, you start with 2 models in combat. You start with their base combat score, and then you modify up or down based on stuff like terror, charisma. If you're going to Ve Victus, you can add dice there. Really just the amount of dice that you're rolling. That's typically all you're really factoring in when you're
and
doing
anything
combat.
over 5 dice is a reroll.
Right, and then you're just ending up, and then you end up with, looking at the other guy's defensive stat as your target. So at its core, it's a very simple system, very easy to pick up. And like we said, it's a very, very brutal game. Let's see, anything else that stood out for you when you're playing? And by the way, tonight is kind of the informal topic is Eldorado because that's what I played last. So we're going to talk about that.
Well, obviously the miniatures caught my eye, as I've mentioned in previous.
Yeah, for sure. Miniatures are fantastic.
The miniatures
I was thinking about this today. Because on Saturday, Phil brought down the Arena Rex miniatures. And I'd like to do an Arena Rex episode sometime with Phil, especially after I get my stuff and I start painting it. We can talk a little bit about Arena Rex. But anyway, he brought the miniatures down on Saturday, and I had a good look at them, and I was like, wow, these miniatures are absolutely beautiful. They're some of the best sculpts I've ever seen in my life. Seriously. Some of the best sculpts I've ever seen. That said, I will say, due to the insane amount of detail in miniatures, I am a little concerned about the fiddliness of Arena Rex, and that's where metal miniatures really kind of shine for me. And I'm an old school guy. I love metal miniatures. They're my favorite. That's my favorite medium. And this past year at Comic-Con, when I asked Kai if they're going to move to another medium, he said no. That was a huge weight lifted off my shoulders because I think that Cypher Studios makes the best metal miniatures out there.
I agree completely.
I'm even comparing, to Corvus Belli. Most people would say Corvus Belli and Infinity makes some of the best miniatures, and I would agree they are some of the best. But I'm looking at if I look at the entire Animal line and the entire Eldorado line, I'm going to put that ahead of Corvus Belli. So
yeah, for
sorry,
sure.
Corvus Belli, slightly biased ninja here reporting.
I'm actually wearing my ninja shirt right now.
Okay. You get a little peen on it, and it's like a battle scar, right?
They sent me a size men's 2XL, which was way too big, so I kind of cut it up and made it fit a lady body a bit better.
That's cool. A couple of comments here. We have hi from Mohammed Yacob. Yacob, am I saying that right? Hi, Mohammed.
Hello.
And we got Canvas who's saying, Relic Night, more like boob nights. Am I right?
You are right, Canvas.
You are right, and I think Canvas is referencing my brother's 300th video, which we'll cover a little bit here in a moment. Did you have a chance to watch that yet, Jill?
I haven't gotten a chance yet, no.
Oh, it's a good one. I think you might want to check that one out. I need a drink. I'm gonna pop this thing open. No, it's not beer, Canvas. I wish it were, but that would make me too sleepy at this point.
Octave just falls asleep in the middle of stream.
I mean, we've had a couple episodes where I crack open a beer and drink, but it's just lately I've been so tired. I just don't think I'd be able to do it. Oh, speaking of boob nights, I'll show this to you, Canvas. So I haven't posted a pic of this yet, but this is the candy night that I was painting on your stream. Woo! Back up.
You mean the one where I went deaf?
Yeah, where I'm making everyone's ears bleed. So here's candy night.
It wasn't terrible for me. It was really bad for the one kid that was watching my stream, and it made Canvas go insane.
It made Canvas go insane, so I consider that a bonus. I'm totally cool with that. So
when
yeah,
I was
Canvas,
airbrushing,
here's
I
your
almost sent him an audio
product
file
bloody
of me airbrushing.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been funny.
So here we go. I'll take pictures of her at some point. So her, and then Little Cola. Little Cola's always fun. Look at Little Cola. Say hi, Little. Oh, come on, focus, damn it. There we go. Oh, you get it. You get the picture. It's a Little Cola thing. So those are about ready to go. But yeah. So, so we played some Eldorado. Looking forward to getting back into that. And I don't know, some of the other stuff on the horizon now, obviously, Arena Rex is coming down the pipeline. And
I want Arena Rex really bad.
We can, and I'm hoping, at some point Phil can hop on and we can share our impressions of that game so far. So that's coming down the pipeline. There are a couple other games that are on the radar for me right now. One is Infinity. Even though I'm was never really a follower of Infinity, I've always been a huge fan of the miniatures, and I've always wanted an excuse to paint some. So I've been a fan of the Infinity miniatures, but the 3rd edition, I want to give it a shot, and I figured this might as well try now with the 3rd edition coming out. And some of the guys locally have been kind of urging me to try when 3rd comes out, so that's on the radar. Dystopian Legions is another one that's on the radar for me, because Dystopian Legions is coming out with their newest rule set. I actually have at least one bat rep on this channel for Dystopian Legions. I think it's the very first painted topic video was Dystopian Legions.
Cool.
My brother has at least 2 Dystopian Legions bat reps on his channel. Now, we passed up on Dystopian Legions in the past because it was supposed to be scalable as a miniature skirmish, the full-scale game, but we felt it kind of suffered as a skirmish game. We felt it just didn't have enough to carry itself as a true skirmish game. So we kind of abandoned it. Also, Spartan, at the time, they had abandoned it as well, or at least they appeared to, because they never really finished the rules. So,
Which is frustrating.
you want to talk about the unsupported game? Yeah. If you want to cite an unsupported game, you might make the argument that Dystopian Legions was unsupported there for a little bit. But they came back, which is awesome, and the new starter sets coming out are French and Antarctica. And I know a lot of people really excited about that. if you guys really like a steampunk warfare style, true warfare style game,
Ow.
I recommend it. It's a larger scale game though, so it's like it's like 40K, but for maybe adults, maybe a little bit smarter people. Wait, what did I say? Never mind. I don't want to offend anybody. But yeah, it's
Octave,
as far as
we're
like
not
a larger scale. What's that?
We're not adults. We play with little
We're not.
army mans.
We're playing with little toys. Yes. But yeah, that was just my little joke. But yeah, Dystopian Legions is on the radar mainly because I still have 2 starters, and I don't want to spend any more money. But I've already spent the money, so let's see how that goes. Anything else on the radar for me? Think here. No, just little games. Nothing too
I think
monumental.
I'm going to pick up some Malifaux at some point in the near
Malifaux.
future here.
Ooh, sore subject with me.
I know.
Okay, cool. No, I mean I don't I no longer bear ill will towards that game, so I don't I'm not gonna judge anybody for picking it up.
I just really like the miniatures, and we have a little bit of a community here for it. So
That's cool.
in a community as small as the one that I'm in, I kind of have to pick up games that are supported by the community.
That's cool. Yeah, a little M2E going there. Okay.
And I've got my Relic Knights coming still, and I want them to.
Relic Knight. Okay. Yeah, it's our Relic Knights group is doing pretty well down here. We've got a little bit of traction from this last event. We're going to try to put together something again for November, but it's going to be one of the other ninjas throwing this one, so that's cool.
That means you get to play in it.
Yeah, that means I'll be playing in it, or at least assisting with it. So that's exciting. All right. So paint up a little Kisa here. She looks a little dark. That's okay.
I don't think I have her to paint. I know that Mark is sending me some other minis that he wants me to paint, so they match the set.
Cool. Okay. So on the topic of Relic Knights and boobs, again, we always talk about boobs on the show.
I know, we always talk about
but,
boobs on the show.
But yeah, my brother did his 300th video for his channel. Nice little landmark for my brother. So congrats, Heretic, for 300 videos.
Good job, Heretic.
I don't think I ever did anything special for any of my videos, but whatever. So for his 300th video, he kind of tackles the the whole boobs argument head on, and why do we target Relic Knights when this isn't a new thing to miniature games. It's definitely not a new thing to gaming or fantasy or comic books or anything like that. He cites very specific examples. He goes and he quotes some of the critiques that people have given online targeting Relic Knights for being quote unquote too sexy of a game, and he cites examples from critics and then presents alternatives. So he's saying, okay, so you guys are saying that you're in a family-friendly store and you can't break out Relic Knights because the store is family-friendly or whatever. And he says, well, my brother's point is wargaming really family-friendly? Because last time we checked, it's not really.
No, we're fighting little mans.
Yeah, they're little mans, but I mean, especially if you're talking about any kind of sci-fi fantasy style of miniature wargaming, the setting has always been historically grimdark.
Yeah.
And if you want to talk about Warhammer 40K, you talk about grimdark there. You've got you've got like chaos, which comes from the warp, and they basically eat your soul, or they rape you, or they pleasure you to death, or they make you, they make your head rot off, or they rip your skull open and use it as a trophy. Or you've got Dark Eldar that are enslaving people, doing experiments on them, doing perverse things to their bodies and so forth. So it's like, is that really family friendly? Especially when he starts showing models from the range and saying, is that really, how are you calling that a family friendly game? And Relic Knight's not a friendly, like basically, why are you picking on Relic Knights? Because of it doesn't look like, he makes the case that 40K is really not a family friendly game. It does feature nudity, it does feature adult themes, it features a lot of the same stuff that you're complaining about Relic Knights, but for whatever reason you've targeted Relic Knights. So that's the heart of his video, and he goes into a few different examples of what he considers to be basically hypocrisy for the folks that are going to be throwing stones at Relic Knights. And I really like the video. I think he makes some really good points. I think he could have even gone a little bit further with the examples, but he did a great job there. And we'll see how that video goes. So far, people have left kind of positive comments on the video. But it's an interesting topic. Overall, it's really been an interesting topic. It's been one close to home for me here because it's something that my wife has had to deal with in the workplace and in her real life. This idea of being harassed or basically put upon because of your gender or because of perceptions about your sexuality or whatever. So it's a very, very close to home topic for me. It's something that we actually end up discussing here in the home. So, but yeah, very cool video. I highly suggest you go check it out. Heretic of You. Tune into his channel. Check out his 300th video, and drop him a line. Let him know what you think.
I am looking forward to watching that after this.
Yeah. Okay, so what color are Kisa's ears supposed to be? Are they the same color as her flesh? I forget. I think I'll paint them that way.
Is Kisa supposed to be a fox?
She's a cat.
Cat people?
She's cat-like. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what's been going on here. And I don't really have too much to add. I just
boobs are awesome. Everyone
to
should stop hating on them. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. It's a really weird. We say, is that really the hill you want to die on? To these folks, like, if you think about how gamers have had to fight just for concepts like, violent video games don't breed violence in people, because that used to be a social stigma or social prejudice against video games, and so we won that argument with statistics, right? Because now we have years worth of data to prove that in fact violent video games do not promote violent behavior. There was no increase. In fact, there is a decrease in lethal crime in the primary age group of video games, right? So spend all that time fighting that fight, and now people are telling us that, oh no, your miniatures games, not the violent ones, but the sexy ones, promote
Perverse
misogyny
behavior.
or perverse behavior. And you're like, well, while it's true that I'm sure some of the people that play miniature games or collect miniatures are probably, say, not the most savory people, but that's going to exist in any population, and I don't feel that the themes of the the miniature games are really the cause of that.
I agree
And
completely.
it just doesn't make sense to me that we fight that argument for violence, and then sex comes along and it's like, oh no, that does promote in the game, and there's really no basis for that argument either. That's I just don't understand. So, but whatever, right? We just game here. That's what we do.
Indeed.
Okay. So fairly quiet night. Okay, so Kisa is kind of she kind of has the model kind of has an Africanized skin, but she's very it's like a very caramel color. So I'm playing around with the skin to get it to be that color. It's interesting. Very interesting. Little fangs in her mouth like a kitty cat.
It's funny, we're both so quiet after this weekend.
Yeah, it's been a long week. We have to do we still have to do a raffle at some point, but I want to I want to get to a certain point on the skin here. I still have all the tier 2 and tier 3 raffle stuff to do. We're not going to do that tonight. I was thinking of just doing a special little broadcast, a one-off broadcast, so that we can do all the winners for that. Because there's still, I think by my count, I still have like 8 prizes to give out.
Holy.
And I'm half considering kind of just extending the campaign just to see if, anybody else is interested in participating. So it's a thought. I would prefer to wrap everything up, but Extra Life does run until the end of the year. I just don't want to prolong it. We had a great campaign, really enjoyed it, and I don't think it's fair to the folks that donated to me, more than 2 months ago, to have to wait till the end of the year.
I agree.
To see if they've won anything. So we're going to do that pretty soon. Also, I need to get back onto the Intro to Relic Knight series on my channel, because that's a thing.
I am just focusing on this upcoming weekend and my next stream.
You got another stream coming.
Yep. So I'm just kind of trying to focus on getting prepared and getting myself mentally and physically prepared for that, because man, I was not ready for last weekend. I was so dead at about 3 or 4 in the morning. If anyone that watches this was watching my stream, you can totally vouch for the fact that I was just done. I was stupid and delirious.
But you didn't pass out, right?
I did not fall asleep once.
That's good.
I got really close right at the end there.
Yeah, I going into this, I had already kind of given up on any notion that I would be able to stay up for more than 12 hours. So I did not sign up. I kind of looked at my gaming time as being doing that in blocks. So, but more power to the folks that can do that and actually have a little bit of constitution, such as yourself.
I didn't have constitution. I had a lot of coffee and a lot of nerds entertaining me.
To be doing anything like that. All right.
In my newest episode of my podcast, I say thank you to a bunch of people that helped keep me awake throughout that thing. So you guys should go have a listen.
Okay. Cool.
I talk about you in it.
Yay. Well, that's cool. All right.
My light is flickering. It's making it hard for me to paint.
A little more Kisa. So you're going to be painting another SDE set. I've got at least one more to paint, one more set to paint. But I'll take care of that later. Yeah. I also have another Black Diamond starter set to paint for the winners of the Tier 3 raffle, the online Tier 3, which will be cool. But those things paint up so fast.
I can't wait for my Black Diamond set to get here. So
Yeah, that's
excited.
It's a cool set. It paints up fast. It's fun to play. And Black Diamond only has one unit of boob.
I know, right?
It has one shot. It has one shot, and she's in booty shorts. The horror.
Not her bum.
And then, yeah, and then you've got Suspect 7. But overall, that the faction is pretty well clothed there. So you guys can rest safe at night. You know.
Don't worry, me
Not to-
painting them is not going to turn me into some sort of fiend.
Yeah. Sudden perv.
Such crap.
Sudden perv. Oh shoot! You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to fill the gap here on this model. So I'm going to cheat and do it right now. So I'm going to use this plastic putty, because that's cheating. And you just squeeze a little BDF in there. Okay, also, I have another project going this week, which is pretty funny. And I'll show you guys that as well. Not a miniatures project, but just another thing I have to paint this week. Let me get a one wash down on this model. What kind of wash do I want to use here? I could go with a sepia ink, which would make it too shiny. Not a favor of that.
I'm really
Well,
not
that's
happy
true.
with how this skin is turning out.
What's the matter with it?
Well, I base coated it this really bright green color because I'm painting the entire set really kind of bright, friendly colors because Mark's giving it to his daughter for Christmas, I think. I know he wants to give it to his daughter. I'm not sure when, but
That's
yeah.
cool.
So I'm painting it happy colors, and the skin is just not turning out the way I want it to look.
That's a bummer.
I might just need to put it down and walk away for a little bit because I've been poking at it for the last hour and it hasn't been turning out.
I hate that when, because yeah, that causes painter freeze. If you are not pleased with something and you try to keep going, it will just haunt you and make you stop and second guess everything that you're trying to do. I hate that. At least that's what it does to me.
That's what it does to me too.
I've learned to just keep painting through it. I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's just kind of how I handle it. I just keep painting until I see something that I like, and then I go that direction.
See, I have to put it down and walk away from it, and then come back to it later.
That's probably the wiser thing to do. Okay, so I'll wash here on Kisa.
The little whelps are so adorable.
And okay, so let's let me pull up that spreadsheet.
Does that mean I should pull up random.org?
Yes, please.
Okie dokie.
Wow, that doesn't help. Here. Open that. Okay. So here we go. This is for the PiPn Aint Easy shirt. And we have 39 individual entries.
Me screen share.
That's actually not true. Hold on. We actually, hold on. We gotta do this. And yeah, we actually have 40 individual entries.
Okay. Are we ready?
So whenever you're ready, yep, ready to go.
Number 12.
Number 12.
Please be me, please be me, please be me.
12 is Corey again. How is that possible?
That is
This
such
guy's won.
bull. He cheats.
Yeah, we've actually drawn 12 before. Yeah, you have hit 12 before. That's the exact one that he hit on for the, not the 40K, but the Sister Eloise.
Yep.
Well,
Guy.
congrats, Corey. His
Corey
wife
is not
won
paying
the
us
shirt
off.
from the event, which is interesting. His wife won the shirt from the event because she was playing fully painted, and Corey was playing painted. One of his lists, his Corsairs was I believe like 90% painted or something. There was like one thing not painted, but his Shattered Sword wasn't. So he wasn't included in that voting. So his wife won it because she had this really cool No Empire stuff painted. But okay.
Well,
You know what? Oh, let's give away one more thing because there's only one more thing left
okay.
on the tier 1, and that's the Eldorado limited edition Hashishin. So
Let me
let's just
reopen
do that.
random.org.
Oh, did you close it?
Yeah, it takes no time to reopen it.
Okay, so let's just do it again because somebody besides Corey's got to win something.
If he
Stupid
wins
Corey.
it, I
Damn
vote
it.
we reroll.
Actually, Corey he was talking about maybe re-raffling some of his items. I think he wants that shirt though because those shirts are highly coveted.
Okay, so we have
think
40
he
people still?
Yes, we have 40 people still.
25.
So roll 12. 25? Did you roll 25?
I did.
25. 25 is Mark Nichols Jr. Cool.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Have
Mark. Okay, so I'm going to make a note here. Mark won that. L.E. Eldorado. That's good because Mark actually does play Eldorado, so we'll be very happy about that. Congrats, Mark. Cool. Well, so that's going to be the end of the Tier 1 stuff. The rest of it is the really cool Tier 2 and Tier 3 stuff. And if you guys are wondering what is on those tiers, because I know there were a lot of prizes here. Online Tier 2, Malifaux Through the Breach Multi-Pose Kit. It's a fun one for you RPGers or fans of Malifaux. Then we're giving away the Parallax Canid miniature, which is like a kind of like a dog or a wolf, like a werewolf-looking thing. And then the SDE Fireflow Denizens. That's another Super Dungeon Explorer, just an expansion kit. But that's fun. And then the online Tier 3, the limited edition Carver miniature. That one is kind of hard to come by. So that'll be very fun, whoever wins that. And the painted RK starter, which is Black Diamond, and then the 30th anniversary White Dwarf. So we still have those 6 prizes to give out. So good luck to everybody. We're going to do that on a separate stream so that I'm not painting and we can just focus in on giving the stuff away. So I'm going to miss giving stuff away. It's super fun.
It is, isn't it?
Super fun to give stuff away.
Oh, my phone is making noise. That's terrifying.
But it'll happen. So, cool. All right. So, yeah. So I guess that's the stuff that's going on.
I don't think you and I have ever been this
That's all
quiet
I
on a Play It Painted.
I know it's we're well, this week is it's been a pretty hectic week for me. Oh, here's what I gotta show you guys. All right, let me pull up my camera here because nobody's gonna get this, but I'm gonna back it up here. Okay, so Ooh, they're still a little wet from the second coat. Okay, so this week looks like just a giant pile of shit in my hands. I've been working on this. You see that?
Yep.
It looks like a pile of crap right now. It's really not much.
A very nice sculpted pile of crap.
What this is this is some of that this is like some of that planter foam that you buy at the craft store, and they had a cone piece and all round piece like this. Yeah, it comes in green or white. This is white. You can see from the bottom here.
Mm-hmm.
So I have one like that. Then I have another one that's way too big for the camera, and probably still too wet for me to pick up, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So here's the bigger one, and so that is what you're looking at. There are parts of our family Halloween costume, because that's a
what
thing.
Do you guys do for Halloween? Or is it a surprise?
It's a surprise. I'm sure my wife takes some really hilarious pictures of it. It's pretty funny. At least I think so. But yeah, she enlisted me to help with one piece, and I will. I'll give you a hint. Those pieces are going on our heads. So, but we are not going as Devo. As good as that sounds, we're not going to be Devo for Halloween. I'd like to be Devo for Halloween. Be awesome. Would you not want to be Devo for Halloween?
No, thank you.
Devo's awesome.
I still
Not
don't
a
know
Devo
what I'm
fan?
gonna be for Halloween. And I have to go trick or treating. Okay, Halloween is 2 days away, and I have to go trick or treating in a costume, and I don't know what I'm gonna wear.
Why do you have to go trick or treating?
I'm going trick or treating with one of my best friends and her 2 children.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you do have to go.
I'm parenting for Halloween, and then I'm going out to a party to get ridiculously drunk. Actually, I probably won't get ridiculously drunk because my live stream starts the next morning.
Yeah, it's true. You gotta be wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, right?
Alternatively, I could just drink a bunch of coffee and be fine. And make somebody go get me McDonald's.
You're young enough to do that, yes.
I'm not. Hangovers hit me so hard.
Ever since I switched to sake,
Mhm.
my drink of choice, I do not suffer hangovers. It's fantastic. That doesn't work for everybody, but it's like I started, I quit vodka, I quit all the stuff you crazy kids drink, and really got into sake, and that has been really nice as my go-to drink.
For me, as long as I'm not mixing liquors, I'm usually fine. Usually.
Mhm.
Like, one night I had, 4 beer and a boatload of gin, and I felt like sunshine and rainbows the next day. Not really.
Well, that's cool.
I wanted to die.
You wanted to die. Yeah, I can't. I'm too old for that kind of stuff. So I stick to my one drink, and I pick my spots, and I don't drink very often. Actually, I only drink very few occasions per year, and just try to keep it at that. So I'm boring and I'm old, but I don't care. We like it. My wife and I were saying, "Oh, it's so cool to be we were feeding our kid last weekend. It was like 7:30 in the morning, and we were like, who the hell are we? We're never up at 7:30 in the morning on a weekend, but that's what we are now.
People that are us.
And I know, we were like, who are these people? We did not do that. If I did get up early on the weekends before, it would be to paint. It would not be to run around with my kid, but freaking love that. It's awesome. So, all right. So we did have some ideas for Halloween that fell through that I'm hoping I might get some time to invest in a longer term project. because I'm really liking this idea of like having a steampunk Dr. Octopus outfit.
That would be so
I
cool.
think that would be so awesome. I was actually working on that with Nick, who is Orsis Sectavier from YouTube. Canvas, I think you know who that is. He's one of the guys on Dice Rage Live. I was throwing that idea around with him, and we were looking for materials that we could use for that type of costume. It was super fun, and I hope that I can actually get back to that at some point once I stop all this infernal painting. But yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. And I think it would be cool for my kid too, because I can figure out how I can integrate the kid into that costume. Maybe as like the pilot, or we could do like a Master Blaster type costume, which would also be quite cool. Okay. Well, Kisa action there.
My brain is having a hard time focusing on painting right now.
That's okay. If you don't feel like painting, that's fine. All right.
Oh, I should paint. I have a lot of painting that I need to get done.
Yeah, I've got a lot of paint, so I gotta just keep cranking through.
Yeah.
But I'm into the fun part of the painting now. I'm done with the large bulk stuff, and now I can work on stuff like this, which is super fun. These models are freaking phenomenal. These little RK miniatures, they're badass. Love them.
I
They're
have
so
one
good.
shot coming
What
to
color
kind of be
should
like
Kisa's?
my desk avatar with my black diamond stuff. I'm probably gonna just like
You have
sticky tack her to the top of my computer or something.
this one?
Yep.
She's my favorite one.
I love her.
The one shot is phenomenal.
I just thought because, I ordered the Black Diamond Relic Knight, so I have the starter set and one shot coming. I might as well get the one shot Super Dungeon Explorer Mini too, and then paint her up so she kind of matches, but it's tiny and adorable.
Oh, man. I'm missing. I'm so bad at organizing my paints, but I don't care. Whatever. Don't judge me.
I'm not judging you.
So have you gotten any more Blood Bowl games in?
Yeah,
game?
me and Robert played last night. No, 2 nights ago.
Oh.
We played on Monday.
Cool.
That was a violent game.
I need to get more games in for sure. I only have 2 games in. So I only played you and. Yep.
Okay.
I need to get in more games. So, trying to get that done. Also in the middle of all this. But,
I don't remember who else I have to play.
Yeah. I'll probably. I think based on the people who said they would be available late night, I'll probably end up playing Dave. Probably end up playing Robert. And
Robert's not available late night.
that's what he said. He said he could play me late night.
He goes to bed at like 7 our time.
And and Dieter was like, "Yeah, I'll play you late night." I'm like, "Okay." Late night means late night my time. Super late night for you.
Alternatively, you could wake up really, really early in the morning and play them.
That's true. I'm planning on filming some of the RK intro with those guys anyway. So that is also an.
You froze.
I froze?
You did.
Uh-oh. How come?
You're not frozen anymore, but you were briefly frozen.
Ew. Ew.
Because the internet said, you guys
Because-
are too tired to do this right now.
My internet sucks. It's
My
pretty funny.
internet is awesome.
We were doing some shopping the other day, and there was a guy there was like some sales guy from our ISP who was like had this little setup in the middle of the department store or whatever. And he was like, "Hey, are you with Cox Communication?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And it's horrible. And I said it exactly like that. And he said, "Well, what's wrong with it? The service, the connection?" I'm like, "Yes, all of it. It's really bad,
Yes.
super bad, you guys." And like in the middle of the store, this whole conversation, and he's like, "I could come." I'm like, "No, shut up and fix my cable, you prick." And people started laughing. And I was like, "Yeah, I've been a customer for 17 years. You know what that amounts to? 45 grand. You know what I could do for 45 grand? I could be my own cable." And this poor guy, I felt so bad for him. But then I didn't, because this company owes me money. You guys have watched the show. Every time the show crashes, it's their fault. Bastards. And that was my rant for the night. So, yeah.
Long story short, don't interrupt Octave's internet because he will get angry and yell at you.
Do not mess with my ISP, my internet. Because I rage over that kind of stuff.
See, I have really awesome internet. But I also live in Canada.
Yeah, I have really terrible internet because people need to like stream Taylor Swift and shit out here at this time of night, and it super bothers me.
Well, they do that here too.
Yeah, but like I have a lot of people nearby that are eating up this bandwidth. Okay, we don't care that much about your kitten. We want to watch us paint toy things.
Obviously, we are
the real deal.
cooler.
Yes, that's the real deal out here at night, folks. You Orange County people.
At least on Wednesday nights. Like, give us the courtesy of just having our Wednesday nights.
Yeah, give us Wednesday nights. You can watch
it's the middle of the week. Nobody does anything in the middle of the week. Like, there's nothing important.
What's on TV Wednesday night? You can watch.
Isn't Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on Wednesdays?
I have no idea.
Me
I don't
neither.
even like watch TV, but
I don't watch
I'm sure there's something good on Wednesdays, right?
Canvas, what's good TV on Wednesdays? He's gonna answer like porn or something.
He'll just answer porn. But see, that doesn't help me, Canvas, because that also eats up bandwidth.
It does.
So hopefully, you don't have to live stream the porn. Just get the
just go down to the video store.
Get the pre-recorded one. Yeah. Oh my God! You know what? I was at the 7-Eleven this morning. I found a DVD of Excalibur for $5, and I kicked myself because I didn't buy it.
Did you go back?
No, I'm gonna go back and get it. But here's the thing: I already own that DVD, but I wanted it as a backup copy in case something happens to mine.
Is that like Excalibur, like the 3-part long, super epic movie?
The John Boorman Excalibur, whatever year that was, 1982 or something. It has Patrick Stewart in it, and it has what's her name? Bleh. The older British lady that's cool, that's in red. What's her name?
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren. It has a very young Helen Mirren in it, and she's hot. It's like a young, hot Helen Mirren in it, and she plays Morgana in it. It's pretty badass. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, guys.
I'm looking it up right now.
Cool. Yeah, it's the John Boorman Excalibur.
Yeah, that's not the one I was thinking of. I was thinking of Merlin, not Excalibur.
I think Kisa has white hair, I think? She does, doesn't she? Yeah.
This paint is dry.
White hair and Kisa. Oh, before I actually put the white hair on, though, I'm going to do the sepia wash.
Okay.
I'm just talking to myself. The process.
Okay, it sounds like I'm talking to myself, but I'm actually talking to Grayson.
Yeah. Good.
Bye.
No, you didn't throw your laundry in, did you?
No, I didn't. Will you do it?
I gotta get towels, so yes.
Grayson
Thank you.
is the source of many frustrated IMs from Dave. And then this rat ogre came and picked up the ball in a tackle zone. And I was like, sweet. So you played Blood Bowl.
But you know what? You weren't on the Skype call with them during that. There was rage and
Yeah.
anger and loudness.
That
Oh my
would've-
god.
That must have been hilarious. You should have streamed that. That would have been worth watching.
It wasn't as loud as like me and Robert playing, but it was pretty close. But I think that's because me and Robert are both really loud people.
So how many games do you have left in your season?
I don't know. How do I check that? Do I just have to play everybody once?
Okay, how many games have you played? Let me ask you that. How many games have you played?
How many games have I played? I played. Woo! I almost dumped my water everywhere. I played you.
So
I
you played me and Robert.
Robert. I've played. My first game was against Phil.
Okay.
I might have played Dave, but I don't remember.
Okay. So you have
I have
two or
at least
three games.
Yeah.
You have 2 or 3 games left in your season. So on your next stream, you could technically finish your entire season,
I could.
which would be pretty cool. Or you could just start another team for your next stream and play, and that way you can play those people again, and maybe even try to finish a whole season on an alt team during your stream.
That could
That'd
be.
be kind of cool.
That sounds like a lot of work trying to get all of you guys together to stream with me.
Well, it's 24 hours, so maybe.
Like I
Maybe
know
you
I'd,
can get-
I'd probably be able to convince Robert, and Mark's not in the league, is he?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Mark Tudor? Yeah, he's in the league. I don't know if he's made a team, but he should be in the league. He's in the group because we invited him. So he should be in the league.
I don't remember. Fuck, pardon my language, holy. That was inappropriate.
There's lots of it. What are you talking about? This is PiPn Live.
I
There's no
know.
filter. It's okay.
I know, I
No
don't
family show.
often swear on this show. I usually swear when I'm alone. I'm done. I'm
We're
done
on
thinking.
late at night. It's no family show. Even in my channel intro, I'm like, yeah, adult language on my live show. Beware.
I'm done painting because this is just not working for me.
Uh-oh.
Colors are not cooperating.
That sucks.
I might get angry and base coat them something else so that it works easier. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, especially when you have to paint lots of stuff. Stick with schemes that you're very comfortable with. That's
I'm
what
probably
I
gonna
learned.
end up priming them brown.
Or test. You could be like one of those super pro guys and test your scheme before you.
See, the thing is, I've used
Before you
both of these color schemes before, but for some reason, they're just not working today. Like, I'm done. I'm done for tonight. Done painting.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm definitely gonna finish Kisa here, and we got plenty of time in the show. We can do whatever you like.
I'm gonna just sit and hang out.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah, these are fun to paint. And I normally start with my least favorite models, and I work my way over to my favorite models. So Kisa being one of my least favorite in this set. So I'm going to paint Kisa, and then I'm going to paint Kasaruto. And the plan is, when we work at this next convention season, that we can run Super Dungeon Explorer using the RK set, and then also run RK using the RK Knights, so that people can kind of gain a little familiarity and see the crossover from Relic Knights to SDE.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Okay, fun little hairdo. Now let's paint. Oh wait, I gotta let that wash dry. So while that wash is drying, I'm gonna base coat the. Oh, let's stick her on a stand now.
I could start painting one of the heroes from Super Dungeon Explorer.
So, are you batch painting, or are you just picking, like, cherry picking some to paint and then working your way through the set that way?
I was gonna be batch painting. Like, I'm planning on doing batch painting. But like I said, the color scheme that I'm trying to go for just is not cooperating with me, so I don't know what I'm gonna end up doing.
Yeah, batch painting can get kind of laborious. But I do lots of batch painting. I just need to make sure that I have opportunity to not.
My webcam went for a tumble. Oh no, it's covered in paint. Awesome.
Uh-oh.
It's not the camera part, it's just the body of it. It's fine. No big deal.
Oh yeah. I've got a little bit of paint on this right here.
And I also accidentally just sent Canvas a really random ass Facebook message because my camera landed on my computer, or on my keyboard.
Sweet.
So have fun with that, Canvas.
Alright. Yeah, these are fun, man. I like this. I'm all into it now. Yeah.
Yeah, painting!
I was, tonight, before this show, I was, like, putting my kid to sleep. And I was like, man, I'm too tired to do this show tonight. I don't feel like painting anything. Now I'm like, hell, I'm like into it.
I'm trying to get into it. I want to paint. I'm in the mood to paint, but paint is not cooperating.
Paint is not being good. Yeah, some nights I get this thing where it's like I should not paint because something's not right.
Yeah.
So then you don't paint that night. But then you try to. But when I do that, I feel like I've now lost time on some imaginary deadline, and then I try to like double my efforts the next night, and it just makes me more tired.
Yeah.
Because that's the level of insanity, basically, that I have like these made up deadlines that matter to nobody. Like, no one's gonna die if I don't finish Kisa tonight, but I'm still gonna do it because reasons.
Because you want to?
Because reasons, yes. I wish I was good at freehand. There's a lot of cool areas to freehand the cloak here. That would be cool. But yeah, it's nice to have a little break from the regular RK models, even if that means painting RK models as SDE. And then all that Eldorado I've been painting recently has been nice. I have a Eldorado commission coming in at some point too. Should be fun. More Westerners. And I really want to start a Saracen force because I want to paint Salahadin. Some cool stuff there to paint. Okay, so yeah, pretty quiet evening, you guys. Thank you for tuning in, those who are watching.
Just a second, it sounds like Grayson just fell in the shower. I'll be right back.
Okay, no problem. Know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Kisa here is coming along. You can see, looking pretty cool. I'm gonna load comments here, see if you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that.
He's fine.
He's still alive?
He's fine. He didn't fall. It sounded
That's
like
good.
he did, but he just dropped something.
Yeah. Oh shoot! What did I do with? Okay. So yeah. Things.
What is the
Reasons.
little dwarf dude's name?
What little dwarf dude?
This little dwarf dude.
Oh, the SD guy.
Yeah.
The Hearthsworn fighter.
Okay.
He's fun.
The Hearthsworn fighter?
Yep.
Because
That's it.
if that's what it is, their inserts into the box is incorrect.
Why was it say?
Hearthsworn Ranger.
No, he's not a Hearthsworn Ranger. He's the Hearthsworn fighter. You have the Glimmerdusk Ranger, who's the elf, and then you have the Hearthsworn fighter. I'm gonna give Keese a little eyeshadow, because why not? Yeah, okay, I'm a fan. I like these little SDE things. Super cool looking. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry for a sec, and we're gonna work on. I think I'm gonna accent her costume here with a little bit of kind of a black, so gold and black, I guess. Boop. Cried. What the hell?
I hate having cats when I'm building miniatures because they always end up with cat hair stuck in them somewhere.
Yeah, I do my best to keep the cats out of this room where I paint for that reason.
My
But,
painting room is my desk.
at some point I'm gonna have to move my painting area out of this room because we're gonna probably convert this room for the kids, child's, get it? As they get older. So I will move my painting operations to the other bedroom downstairs, the other downstairs bedroom, and that room is much more cramped as far as painting or work area is concerned. So that should be interesting.
I could paint in our spare bedroom, but then I'm not near my computer or my television or my coffee. So I paint
Yeah,
at
that's
my
the thing. I'm gonna have to move my computer over there, and there's a television already there, but I'd move the laptop over, and not the end of the world, but just annoying. I actually started when I moved over to this place and started painting. It was in that room, but that was very cramped. Install. Ooh, that's fun. There you go. It's a little
I
black
think
too.
I'm going to love painting these minis.
The SD minis?
Yeah.
It's funny because the people that didn't win the raffle on Saturday, like Andrew didn't win the SDE raffle, but then he just bought himself an SDE set. And he wants to learn how to play.
I want to learn how to play too, but
Which is cool. So you guys that you local guys that are looking to join our convention team for next season, SDE, learn it. That's what I'm saying. Learn it. Try to figure out how to get yourself a painted set, because that's going to be our baseline requirement for joining our team.
awesome.
And you have to have access to your own painted set. I wonder if Forgotten King is going to actually come out on time. I mean, it sounds like they're making really good progress on it. All of the core set sculpts they say are done, and they're starting to print those. So that's cool.
That is cool.
But man, they promised they hit so many stretch goals. One of those things where you're worried about the stretch goals delaying the release of the product because there were so many that they hit.
Yeah.
What am I missing? There's like stuff going on that I'm missing. What is going on?
I need better metallic.
What? What is this? Oh. Cameron posted. Okay.
Where's the posting happening?
Cameron. Cameron, are you watching the show right now? Chime in on the comments if you are. One of our mutual friends, Cameron, who does have a YouTube channel that's sort of also kind of in a hiatus status, posted something. He does mostly War Machine, so Warmahorde stuff, but he's a local guy. We've been gaming with him for a little while now. Very fun guy.
I'm planning on
he was
going
the guy that
to Adepticon. That's something that's new.
What's that?
I'm sitting here and I'm trying to think, what's new, like, with me? I'm planning on going to Adepticon and Gen Con.
Oh, cool.
That's new.
Trying to do both in the same year?
Yeah.
Cool.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah. You can come down twice. Adepticon will be fun, obviously. I've never been to Adepticon. Been to Gen Con. And I want to go to Adepticon, and Mark has been trying to entice me to come to Adepticon and work the show with him because I really do want to work that show. So we'll see how that goes.
He's the one that convinced me that I should go.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
You should. It'll be a party.
Looking pretty good there, Kisa. So I'm actually almost done with Kisa here. Should have painted 2 at a time, but that's okay. I have no timeline with this project. This is just fun. I guess the timeline is as long as I have this set done by the start of next con season, should be good to go. So yeah, next con season, like I said, the bare bones requirement is for the guys that want to sign up. SDE is the bare bones requirement because we do SDE. We will do SDE at almost every show, and definitely every show that requires a team. There will be SDE because for us, SDE is always a big draw for shows. My brother worked. That was the other bit of news. My brother worked the Bakersfield Comic-Con with Tin Man XL. This past weekend, so we did our stream, our Extra Life stuff. He was working Bakersfield Comic-Con, and he brought SDE to that show. According to him, it was very busy. He had a wait line for SDE. That doesn't surprise me at all, because every show we work at is always capacity, and we work when we do SDE shifts. We basically just keep people cycling through the entire day. Last year at Anime Expo, to give you guys an idea, I worked one day. I only worked the Saturday there, and I did SDE, and I went through 40 people in a day, teaching people SDE, and it was in front of Ross, which was cool. It was like, yeah, you can go hang out, Ross. I'm gonna I'm just gonna keep running this
I
until
got this. Don't worry about
until I either pass out or whatever. Ross ran some demos himself. Really cool to kind of see how his approach to the whole thing, because everybody kind of has their own shtick. So Ross had his little. He ran demos. I ran demos. Or brother ran demos. SDE is just one of those things that you take to, especially like an anime con. That's where we were at. It's just gonna murder at those shows. They're just, people are dying for stuff. Like, wait a minute, that's a thing. That's a game. I want to play it. So it always does well at shows like that. What did I do with? So.
Ow.
So so they did really well at Bakersfield Comic Con. They want us to come work Bakersfield Anime, and I don't know if Minutes on the Sun is watching. John, if you are watching, sir. And actually, I'll just say this: if I do end up working back anime, I'm gonna shoot you a message so that we can meet up finally, because you're a badass, and we need to get together. Because we're like me, John, and Viv are like the new dads of the YouTubers, and we have like that's our new club, new dads of YouTube, I guess. So should be fun. Okay, I just lost the color that I just pulled out like 2 seconds ago, because I'm super bad at this. There it is. All right. But yeah. So just even though these are really small shows, they're just sometimes it's just fun. For me, I just like being at conventions. You just get addicted to it. It's fun. Especially like anime and comic conventions, because you get there's like cosplayers and then you just get to see people that are kind of like your people, but they don't know that they're your people because they've never tried a miniatures game before. But you're like, oh yeah, you're one of us for sure. And you run into them, you teach them the game, and they're like, holy shit, I wish I known about this earlier in my life, so I could have done this for longer. And they really take to it because the whole aspect of painting miniatures and playing these video game inspired board games. It just meshes really well with those crowds.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fun. It's a fun thing. So yeah, if I do end up working back anime, or bake anime, I should say, which sounds even worse. Let me just tell you. Sorry, Tin Man, if you're watching. Sorry if this offends you, but if you're supposed to call it bake anime, that just sounds like a hemp convention.
I was gonna say, it sounds like a bunch of stoned anime nerds.
Yeah, which, by the way, I don't have any problem with. If that's what bake anime is, that's kind of cool. But I don't think that's their intent. Baked anime would be kind of cool.
Would there just be lots of like baked goods and cookies and stuff?
Yes, exactly. There will be brownies. How about that? There will definitely be. Get it? Ha.
I get it. You're funny. You're funny.
Ha. Get it?
I don't know how I want to paint the barbarian. She's cute.
Oh, the barbarian's super fun.
I don't know how I want to paint her. I want her to look
most of the time,
super badass.
I think the studio art, she's a ginger. And she looks pretty good as a ginger.
She does. It would make sense that she's a ginger.
She's an angry little redhead.
Exactly.
Okay, I have a theory. And I think you might get this theory because you own cats.
I do have cats. Is it about ginger cats being dicks?
No, I say that torties are the gingers of the cat world. Because torties have they have the weird attitudes. They're usually, the male torties are really rare and they're really jacked up.
Yeah.
And then female torties are just really, really weird.
I will agree with that.
So my theory is that they're sort of the redheads of the cat world. And that wasn't actually meant to offend redheads. It's actually a half compliment. I'm saying you're different. You're unique. You're a snowflake, all right? Fine. Jeez.
You're a snowflake. You're like every other snowflake. You're completely unique.
You're completely unique. Jeebus.
Everybody stop getting mad at us.
All right. Well, highlight here.
So many kobolds. My desk has been infested by bright green kobolds.
You're going green?
I think so. I don't know. I'm not. The green was being dickish to me, so I don't know if I want to keep up with the green. I might do something else.
For me, I found blue or purple cobalts are the easiest to do. The time I did a green set was rough.
I may end up doing the dragons, pinks, and purples, actually.
That's cool. All right.
If I did that, then I could do the kobolds blue, and that would be really easy. I don't want to have to re-spray everything, though. Although I guess it's like the easiest thing to do. If I have to change something, spraying it's probably the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, just spray the whole thing over.
Yeah. That's probably what'll end up happening. I spray in really light powder coats anyways, so.
So, almost done here with Kisa. Working on the base.
I just washed a metallic brush in my non-metallic water cup.
Oops.
Oh well.
Bad times.
Eh.
Bad times. So you don't have a Halloween costume?
I'm probably going to end up
Did you dress up last year for Halloween?
I did.
What did you dress up as last year?
I was a cat.
A cat. Okay.
That's probably what
Kisa.
I'll end up doing again this year.
You could be a Kisa. Yeah.
Because it's really easy, because all I have to do is paint my face. And I saw this really cool thing on Pinterest that makes it so that your fingernails look like cat claws. Like, not filing them, but like just the way that you paint them.
Okay.
So I think I might try that.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm excited for our family costume this year. Last year, we just kind of dressed up in our Ren Fair costumes, and that was okay.
Well, it's not as much fun if it's something that you wear frequently.
Yeah, or it's just a Ren. I don't know why it just loses its value, because you wear it one other time a year, I guess.
Yep.
Like, oh no, can't wear that for Halloween.
It makes it less cool.
But we did, because we were tired and we had a little newborn, and it worked. Okay. I need to do a purple wash on her cloak, and then she's basically done.
I always forget that I'm not supposed to lick my brush after I've been using metallic paint.
Yeah, not a good idea.
I won't die. It's just not great for me.
Alright, so there's that. But yeah, we had a few ideas going into this year. I still want to work on that steampunk Doc Ock costume, because I think that's badass. That needs to happen at some point. That will need to happen. Maybe when the steampunk conventions start up again this year, or next year actually, the first one happens in January, and it happens aboard the Queen Mary. And the Queen Mary was this. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but if I'm assuming you're not because it's not that big a deal. But the Queen Mary was this ocean liner that is supposed to be haunted, and that's local to us. The Queen Mary is these days it's a it's more of like a hotel. There's a mall in there, and so they do conventions in there, and it's perfect for like a steampunk convention because it's kind of that era. So every year they have a steampunk convention aboard the Queen Mary, and so I think we're going to try to go to that. And then, failing that, there's another one called Gaslight Gathering, which is a super fun San Diego convention that Ross is heavily involved with. And so we generally go to that and hang out with him.
Cool.
And we do gaming. Ross used to head up the gaming there. I don't know if he's going to do it this year. We'll see how his schedule is. But that's always fun, teaching a bunch of steampunkers how to play miniatures games. All right. So
I'm so jealous that you guys have communities like that.
we have, it's almost the problem is too many cons. Like every year, we have to decide which cons we are going to go to and which ones we're not. But the steampunk ones are fun. That
makes me feel incredibly jealous.
Ross throws at the San Diego one. He throws a rum party on the roof, not the roof, but the top floor of that resort there, which is fun. It's good times. And then there's Ross Con, which is Kingdom Con, which I think at some point you should try to go to because that's fun.
When is it?
Well, next year, it's usually the same month as Adepticon, so that's the tough part. This year, I believe it's a week or two after Adepticon, and it's down here in San Diego.
If I can swing it, I will.
Yeah. So Ross, RossCon, it's kind of like the biggest. We call it the house party con. It's a pretty open drinking environment. It's pretty laid back. But there's a ton of gaming. Usually has about, I want to say, between 1,200 to 2,000 people at that con. So it's a smaller one. But for California cons, for California gaming cons, it's actually about average size. And there's lots and lots of events there. And because it's RossCon, Ninja has, we have our events there. And we have a whole team of people running events at that con, which is good. Okay, so come on, dry. I have to do one more thing, and then she's totally done. I'm going to load comments here. This might be a short show.
Well, it's almost 11.
If you've given up on painting.
Usually
Which I don't blame you for.
No, I'm painting.
No, what I mean is if you decide to give up on painting, I don't blame you for it. Because if you're having a problem with your scheme.
I've just decided to start painting the heroes because they're easier and that I can make up the scheme as I go because they're so specific.
Mm-hmm. Ow!
Oh no! Are you okay?
Why did my paints decide to attack me?
Way to be jerks, paints.
This base to dry so I can put a little wash on it and call it a day. I guess in the meantime, I'll clean up.
I'm probably going to end up leaving my desk as a gigantic mess and then cleaning it in the morning. As long as I don't have any minis near the edges of my table, it's fine because my cat won't steal them. He only steals them if they're close to the edge.
I know that pain from when I painted in the other room there. I guess what I'll do then is, while I'm waiting for her to dry, I'll just work on a few other eyeballs, because that's a thing.
While you do that, I'm going to look online at different color schemes for Super Dungeon. Man, it would help if I could spell.
Super Dungeon.
Nope, it was kobolds. I cannot spell the word kobolds.
So the subject of Arcadia Quest has come up recently
I don't
on
know.
the so-called tabletop, and a lot of people make the comparison between Super Dungeon and SoCal Tabletop, and Super Dungeon and Arcadia Quest. And after having played Arcadia Quest, I will tell you that that's not a great comparison between the two games, because they really are fairly different. My impression of Arcadia Quest is it's a lot more like Crossmaster Arena than it is Super Dungeon. It doesn't have the dungeon crawl. In fact, it's not even in a dungeon. It's more PvP focused than Super Dungeon is, and it's a decent game. It's a decent game. I don't know that the theme and the art are what's most similar to SDE, and if you ask me, SDE kicks its ass in that facet. But as a, considered as a separate standalone game, it's a decent game. I don't know that it might be something that I think that people can enjoy with either regular gaming groups, casual gaming groups, or even like younger families can enjoy it, because it's mechanically it's not too complex, although it can be. And then the good part, one of the best parts of the game is the campaign mode, which is kind of cool because your characters gain, they'll gain little upgrades, and you can string together several games and make a campaign out of it. It's a pretty cool feature. So overall, Arcadia Quest is, I think it's going to be a fairly popular game. I almost feel like it's it's like they took stuff that they liked from SDE, which was the theme and the art. They took stuff that they liked from Crossmaster. They even took stuff that they liked from Mantic and kind of blended it together into this board game that frankly kind of tricks people into playing a miniatures game. That's how I felt. I felt like, okay, if I was a straight board gamer and I enjoyed this game, it would almost be like somebody lying to me and telling me I'm playing a board game when I'm actually playing a miniatures game. That's a compliment, actually, and that's it's a pretty cool thing for Arcadia Quest. The characters themselves are a lot of reference characters, so they took that from Zombicide, where they're taking famous characters from movies and media and stuff like that. So you have like you could play Grace Jones from Conan the Destroyer, which is funny. You can play you can even play like Sun Wukong, the Monkey King.
Awesome.
In the game. You could play Jareth from Labyrinth. So my team was Jareth, Monkey King, and I forget some female character, but I forget what the reference was for her. And it's pretty fun. One of my complaints about the game is you have a draft, right? Because there's so many hero characters, and so you have a draft. You usually have like a team. You have a guild of characters, and what you do to denote your guild is you put these little basically these rings around the bottom of your bases. Say, okay, so I'm part of the blue guild. You put these little blue rings on the bottom of your bases.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool, but it sucks if you are a painter and you wanted to paint the miniatures. It means that your miniatures are going to be handled a lot. It means that the paint on the bases will probably get rubbed off frequently. And so it's not the best if you plan on painting and keeping your set in good condition. That's one of my complaints about the game. I guess the other one is, and this is kind of, this sounds super nitpicky, but to me it just kind of feels safe. You know, there were a lot of safe choices made in design. And, you know, coming from a guy that likes to play Relic Knights and even SDE, where there's some really unorthodox game design built into these games, I don't really like safe all that much. You know, there's such thing as you can be kind of innovative and still use you know, smart design. Safe choices are just, I don't know, like exploding dice right now is a thing. It's like a trend in game design. And I'm not a big fan of exploding dice. I never have been. Spartan Games was the company that popularized that. Then Mantic really kind of took it over and really kind of, you might argue that Mantic has kind of perfected it. But I just don't, I don't know. It's just not it's not an appealing mechanic to me. But there's some other cool stuff to the game. Like there's, you know, the item system is pretty cool in the game, where you can, you know, you get items and you can actually exhaust your items, and then you have stuff like clear turns, where you can unexhaust your equipment, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, it's that was one of my issues, was that there's a lot of safe stuff in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Other issue I had with it is it just didn't feel very epic. You know, Super Dungeon Explorer, one thing the SDE does really well is it builds to a critical mass. If the console knows what the hell he's doing, it's super important. That's like a good and a bad thing. The SDE the console can make for a really exciting game, or he can make for a really boring, annoying game. But SDE, with its power meter and all that stuff, and the way upgrades really stack in SDE, and the ability to like exploit the potion drinking, it really makes SDE kind of hit really a high point, hit a real climax during the boss fight. And you just don't get that in Arcadia Quest. Arcadia Quest is like, I do a thing that's predictable and it happens. And a lot of gamers like that, because it's like, oh, I don't, you know, I'm more interested in a balanced, more morally perfect universe than I am in some, like, you know, tense gaming moment where I'm hoping to roll something cool, or where everything builds to this giant boss fight. And I missed that. I missed the tension that occurs when the boss finally spawns and you fight the boss. Arcadia Quest is like, I need to get done A through Z, and I get them done. Very similar to Relic Knights in that regard, in that you have different scenarios that you're trying to push. But again, it just didn't have any real highs and lows, even with exploding dice. In fact, I find exploding dice to be kind of anticlimactic, which doesn't make sense at all, because exploding dice basically give the underdog, even, you know, somebody horribly outclassed, the chance to kind of luck their way back into a fight.
Yeah.
But no, it just, I don't know. It just all seemed very safe and familiar, and I don't know. I don't want that. And again, I know a lot of people do want that, and I think that the game will be very popular because of that. But just, I'll stick with my cool video game anime reference with boobs that offend people.
As you should.
I like that.
Obviously.
As you should. Yes.
Why would you want anything else in a game?
So, I mean, bottom line for me, Arcadia Quest is something that, if I'm at like somebody's house for a night of gaming, I'll play with them. But it's not something I would own. I own a copy of Crossmaster Arena. I don't know if you've ever tried that game.
I haven't.
It's yeah. I don't know. A lot of people like Crossmaster Arena. I just don't. I don't. It's another one of those games that just seemed kind of safe. It just didn't seem. It has some cool mechanics to it, but it just never. And I also would also say that my desire to paint stuff and having a pre-painted set like Crossmaster, because Crossmaster is totally pre-painted, and it looks pretty good, but I just don't feel any ownership. I don't feel any investment to the game because I didn't paint the pieces myself.
Yeah.
I don't know what that makes
No
me.
real strong desire to play it because it came pre-painted.
Yeah. Like I really want to play Star Trek Attack Wing or whatever it's called, because and I want to play it over X-Wing. And the reason why I want to play that game and not X-Wing is because the models in Star Trek Attack Wing look like ass, and they're pre-painted, and most people end up painting them. While the X-Wing models look pretty good, and most people don't paint those. So I don't really feel any attachment to X-Wing, so I'm more likely to be playing Star Trek Attack Wing.
Yeah.
That was a lot of rambling.
That's okay.
But we are just about to hit 2 hours here. I'm going to reload some comments. Kisa is done, by the way. Looks pretty happy.
Yay.
I guess I could do another highlight on her, but I don't know. I'm pretty happy with that kind of caramel skin there. Let's reload. No, not a lot of comments tonight. Very quiet evening. So yeah, there's Kisa. I'll paint a few more of these later. But yeah, anything to add here, Jill, before we sign off?
Everybody go listen to my podcast.
There you go.
Go listen to
Geek Girl Weekly.
Girl Weekly.
You have a topic this week, or is it
Extra Life. It's primarily
Extra Life? Cool. Extra Life recap. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I'll go listen to that myself. Actually, I'll do that tomorrow during my lunch break.
It's only
I'm about to go to bed.
just shy of 20 minutes this episode.
Oh, cool. Very short one. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep my episodes kind of just short. People can listen to them on the ride to work sort of thing.
Sweet. All right.
Yeah.
Alrighty, everybody. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please support Jill. Listen to her podcast. Oh, and this Saturday to Twitch, she'll be streaming again, so that should be
I will
fun.
be streaming.
And I'll be sure to pop in at some point. And stay tuned for my my Eldorado battle report because I'm working on that as well.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. Well, thanks everyone for watching. We will catch you on the next one.